All right, since the last 3 days, I have been interacting with people who have been using Chat GPT and OpenAI. Now, the difference between the people I spoke to versus normal people, these people use it every single day for their day-to-day purposes. Okay, they're paid, I don't know, 1 year's this thing, and their company is using these services, and some of them are freelancers and they're actually making money out of this. Okay, but it's not like what they show on YouTube. I'm making $50,000 and 100,000. That is all, it's all nonsense. Okay, I'm speaking to actual people who are using it, and these are the type of people who don't share on social media or brag about it. They're people who I personally know from a couple of years. A special thanks to 2 of them who didn't mind me revealing their names. I'll just give their first name. One is Fazal, one is Saeed. Both are professionals and both use this extensively for their work. Okay, and they use a paid service. One of them even creates OpenAI software, or I don't know what exactly he does, but customizes it to companies, and he makes a lot of money on this. Okay, he has an entire team. All right, so here are some interesting observations that I found, which I want to share with you. Number one is, I'll be honest with you, I was impressed. I was absolutely impressed with how they were using it. They showed me screenshots, they showed me video screen footage of what they're doing. For example, one of these guys, he mentioned sales letter, this company, stating this is what we provide, stating this is our rates, and if they confirm within this time, special offer, regards. He just put those few words in one box, which was on the left hand side, and he clicked sales letter. In letters there were many, this thing, and then the mood, there was even the mood, eager, enthusiastic, whatever. He chose some of the key emotions, and positive and all that, and click. Oh, the letter just tick, 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 all the words came, and it was a proper letter. I was like, bloody hell. It just came, and it was a nicely worded letter. And I was like, oh, wow, man, this is fantastic. I said, I told him, then you must be using this every day. He said, oh, 100%. I use it every single email. Now, I'll come to the drawbacks. Wait. So I said, bloody hell, man, this is unbelievable. Okay. The other guy I spoke to, he doesn't want to be named. He said he used this extensively to the point where he even told his receptionist, you're no longer required. He told his coordinator, you're no longer required, so that he could save money on this service. And lo and behold, it was doing the work. Where you pay a salary per month for an individual, you have now $20 per month. Just imagine where you're paying, say, $1,000, $2,000, for example, total salary. You just have to pay $20 a month. It's all right. Like I said, I'm coming to the drawback. Wait. And the third guy told me, whenever he does coding, whenever there is a problem, he inputs this, tells where have I made the mistake of coding, how can I, and then it gives him the answer. And the last one is this guy, he does websites. He said it has solved so many problems, from writing scripts to designing the website to getting the code, retrieving. Okay, fine. So I spoke to these guys. And then obviously there were a couple of youngsters in my group who said they're writing their essays, actual writing their essays. They shared with me, they're doing their assignments. And they're like, your teacher didn't catch you. Nah, teacher has doubts, but not being able to catch, fine, okay. So now I gave you all the plus points. And I'll tell you some of my thoughts with these plus points. Will it replace people who can write letters? 100%. Will it replace people who can, draw images, painting, do Photoshop, Illustrator, all this? 100%, 100%. But here's the thing which you need to consider. Will it replace all? Will it replace all? That is the key question. No, will not replace. And then the next question you need to ask, what category of individual will it replace? Will it replace a creme de la creme? Will it replace the advanced user? Will it replace the intermediate user? Will it replace the average user? Or will it replace just the normal ordinary user? I want you to use your mind. Huh? I'm coming to it now. After asking all these plus points, I'd written on my notes. So then I said, boss, if that is the case, you can replace all the people in your company. You don't need anyone. He said, Loy, wait, listen. There are drawbacks to it. I said, okay, I'm listening. The guy who wrote the sales letter, remember the first example? When I asked him, sheesh man, now all your problems solved. Every letter just use Chat GPT. He said, no, it doesn't work that way. I said, why, what happened? He's saying there are so many factual errors in this letter. The same sales letter. He said, there are factual errors. And he said, see, Loy, when I'm sending a sales letter, if I put the wrong rate or there's some small miscalculation, finished, I have to honor what I've sent in the email. My client will say, you agreed, this rate here says 10 per unit. Now you're saying, no, it's a mistake. It was actually 100. He's saying, I have to pay the price. And then if the tone is not proper or it's too overly friendly, like you're sending it to a lady in a Muslim country, and, like, for example, one of them even said, love and regards. He's saying, I can't put love, that word. It's like, what? And then in some other thing, they put the wrong facts about the company. We have been in this for years. He's saying, no, we were only in it for a few months or few weeks. Okay, so what he said is, even after it's drafted, I have to redo it, go through it, proofread it, put it once again to the Chat GPT to make it better. And he's saying, it kind of takes more or less the same time, but not the same effort. Okay? So I asked him, would you be using this? He's saying, I'll be using this, but I'm still using my letter writing skills where it's necessary. Okay? So then I asked him, where would you use this primarily? He's saying, just a basic introduction of the company to new people and this and that, just where you just have to say words. Hi, we are a company, we are this. After I get the letter, I'll copy paste and use the same template. Just copy paste. I'm not going to use Chat GPT every time for the same. Okay, fine. You remember the guy about coding? He's saying many times it gives me a new solution which I never asked for and completely changes everything. He's saying, then I'm like, oh, undo, go back. Okay. You remember the guy who terminated his people? He ended up employing them back. But one of them was very hurt and upset of being terminated. She refused to come back. She took it personally. He's saying, because what I found out, I need people to proofread after it is put, because they were initially, he said, even I was very excited and I thought I can replace all the people. He's saying it started to make mistakes. And if you blindly trust and you make a mistake, then you're putting on the official company letterhead, or there are consequences. And then finally, the guy who I spoke to about the website and all, he's saying, oh, I did have 2 times or 3 times where it gave very stupid words, and not bad words, like the typical internet. And the client was like, what is all this? He's saying, I was embarrassed because this was copy pasted from somewhere else, and my client was able to figure it out. So he's saying, now, even though I use Chat GPT to get an essay or for the website, I recheck, because now they have this new app that can find out if you have plagiarized or if you have used. He's saying, I don't want the client to know he paid me big money and then I use this $20 a month software. In fact, okay, Okay, the students, they think nothing is going to happen to them. But there have been people who have been worried. I did get until now, only one person who said, my son, he cheated by giving this essay. Can you redo it and send it, because teacher kind of suspects that he used a software. Now he's supposed to change it. I charged him money and they did. Okay. All right. So until now, I told you where it can replace, but I'll tell you where it cannot replace. Now, I'll give you specific examples. You remember in the 80s, there was the paperless office movement, where they said, now the paper that you see physically, you can see it on the computer screen and I can share it to 100 people without making 100 copies. Logically speaking, that made sense. One screenshot of a paper, you send it through the internet to 100 people. You don't need to have 100 copies. Those 100 copies will be online. But that was the 80s. Even almost 40 years later, we still have tons of paper. Why? Can you tell me why? Because they realized, even if you have a paperless office, what if a virus deletes everything? Then where do you have the physical evidence? That's number one. Number two, same with paper. How many people said once digital books comes, once e-readers, Amazon Kindle and all that comes, and it's made cheap, and books you can download for free anywhere in the world. One Kindle you can carry anywhere. You'll have 1,000 books in that. Very soon, books will be no longer there. Go to any airport today. How many books are they selling? Hard copy. Even Harry came out with this book. How many hard copies were being sold? Why digital print was not sold? Why only Kindle was not sold? People like a physical copy. Okay. Then let's move to even though Kindle is cheaper, more economical, easier, more convenient, people still love that. Let me go to the next one. We have, chess. We had Deep Blue that defeated the world grandmaster, right? In chess. Okay. Why isn't AI taken over in playing chess? Why don't they have the software from China versus software from USA? Or software from Russia versus software from one other country? No, they want human beings to play. Even though this software is there, this intelligence there, nobody uses. They want human interaction. In fact, let me ask you a very simple thing. Simple. You come out of the office, there is a vending machine there, okay, where you put the coins and you'll get a coffee cup or tea. And further down is one human being who will make your coffee cup, who will make your tea in front of you with, like in India, no? Make it physically. He will show you and make this cup. Which do you think you would be inclined to go for? Now, I don't know about you, but me, I would 99 out of 100 times go to that physical guy, unless I was such a hurry where grab and run. I would want human interaction. I would like to see that labor of love. And the taste and the experience of having someone make it physically is totally something else than a robot making. How many of us would rather eat a real pizza cooked by a real human being than with a robot that was just making a pizza and putting the sauce and lifeless? How many of us would, hey, how are you? How many of us get the enjoyment whereby we would see like an android or a machine with a frozen face. Yes, sir, what would you like? How many of us enjoy seeing that? Or would we rather have an actual chef interact with us? Common sense. Okay, for a gimmick or for fun, we don't mind seeing a robot for once. But on a normal day, almost every day, we would prefer a human being. We'd prefer to interact. Even McDonald's, when it has this touch screen and all that. Yeah, all that is fun. But there's a different kind of fun when you interact with a human being. In fact, let me ask you this. Can Chat GPT understand you, know your feelings, know what you want, know the sense of urgency? No, right? See, all these areas that I gave you are actual real life examples. Yes, you can replace amateurs who write letters, amateurs who like spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. But for that, do we actually need Open GPT and Chat GPT and OpenAI? I keep getting confused with the name Chat GPT because I don't use it. Chat GPT and OpenAI. Do you need this? There's already enough and more AI online. Yeah? Grammarly will check your spelling mistakes and your sentences. Enough and more websites are there. Yes, coding maybe they can't do, but now you can do coding online. But there are mistakes. Sales letters and all these letters you can copy paste. So, what? Tell me. In fact, let me ask you the last question. There are two people. One will actually paint a real painting and give you. Another one is just by computer. You just take a photograph and it gives you 20 different images. Okay? Which went viral for quite some time, with everyone sharing their Facebook viral image. In fact, you have these apps which make you look older, younger. Fine. And we all shared it. See, this is how I look when I'm 80 years old. This is how I look when I'm a baby. This is how I look as a girl. Oh, AI made these cool photographs. All that was fun. We enjoyed it. But if you're looking for something to keep at home, a large painting of you and your family, and you had the money for it, would you take a computer printout or would you actually paint? See, where premium things are concerned, no? Whether it's painting, whether it's food, whether it's service, whether it is an experience, nothing can replace human interaction, because there is a soul, there is a consciousness, there is, like, whatever name you can give it, soul, consciousness, there is a human being, a human element that a robot cannot replicate or duplicate and has never been done. A lifeless person with some coding and some sentences can see a lot of things. But that doesn't mean that's the same you'll get from Open Chat GPT. In fact, OpenAI. In fact, one final thing, let me ask you. Last and final. If you had your loved one were to get a surgery, would you trust a automated system? Or would you rather trust the hands of a actual human being, a doctor with experience? Now, doctor is a human being, can make mistakes. Maybe the robot is perfect. But I can assure you, 10 out of 10 times, not 9 out of 10, you trust the doctor than the machine. So like I always say, what is important, you're not going to trust any technology or app or all that. For things that are unimportant and you don't give a damn, yes. That is why all these people I spoke to, these 9 or whatever, they knew for a fact what is important. They will never totally trust OpenAI or Chat GPT. Because what is important, you can't leave it in anyone's hands. But what is like, I care a damn, I tell you.